Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is March 11th, 2022. This is episode 487. We're taking a look at Loaded Bible. Blood of My Blood is the name of this issue. This is a number one coming out from Image, celebrating 30 years. It came in at a whopping $3.99. And what we're seeing here is a clone of Jesus clone, killing a vampire. I guess it's supposed to be a vampire. You can tell by the bats in the background, but they look a little different in the book because this is a different cover from the interior art. This is actually Mirka Andolfa doing the cover on this one. And so it starts out pretty good, but it's not a recommend. It's really bad. I thought the last book was bad, but this one is really, really bad. Now, I made a mistake on this. I saw that Tim Seeley was the writer on him. I really liked him on Vampire the Masquerade. Really enjoyed that run. I think it ran 10 or 12 issues. I don't recall exactly, but a good story nonetheless. What I had was a case of TLTR. Too long to read, because the next name on here is Orlando, and we'll get into that a little bit. Let's take a look to see who worked on all this. Okay, Loaded Bible, Blood of My Blood, writers Steve Orlando. So suddenly he is the front. It goes from Seeley Orlando here. He's the first one listed, and I can tell you I have not liked anything this guy has written. Last thing I did a review on that he did was a book called Commanders in Crisis. It had to be one of the worst series of last year. I don't know if it ever won any awards for that, but boy, it was up there. I think Tim Seeley is put on there to sell this book, basically. I don't think he wrote too much of it in here. So let's look at the artist is Giuseppe Cafaro, if I'm saying that correctly. Colorist is Josh Rodriguez. Letterers was Fabio Amelia and Maurizio Clausi. Okay, and the editor was David Gigi Cassi. Okay, so it looks like it's got a bunch of people working on it there. Oh, let's go to the back real quick. Yeah, okay. Here's a little bit of a blurb here. Decades after the events of the original cult series, Jesus Vampire Hunting, I did not look that up, clone, it is a bigger outlaw than ever. I'm not sure exactly what the cult series Jesus, I guess it was. Vampire Hunting clone is a bigger outlaw than ever. Now, he has faced a threat like no other. The church has cut a deal with the vampire nations to unite under the resurrected savior, Dracula. You can see the main cover. Here is Mirka Andolfa. We'll go through that again real quick. Yeah, it's a really stupid story, okay? It's not fun to read. It is a chore to read. The way that Steve Orlando approaches his storytelling is inconceivable. Okay, you get a forward here from the Boulette brothers. I'm not sure who they are. They're modern day horror hosts, television writers, directors, and producers. Since 2016, the Boulette brothers have starred as the hosts of the reality competition series, the Boulette Brothers Dragula, of which they have written and executive produced 4 seasons and a spin-off feature film. So I know nothing about that. Dragula, so you can kind of guess maybe where that's going. Yeah, so they go on and talking about how this is like the end is nigh. And they're talking about the real world right now. Now, I've been alive a long, long time. Trust me on this. This is nothing compared to what we saw in the 60s and 70s. Oh, man. even the 80s had some scary moments, but what we're going through now, this is media-induced pandemonia. Okay. Anyway, you can if you want to read this garbage, you can go ahead and pause at any time and get the gist of what they're putting there. Okay, so we got some people out in this dystopian landscape, and they get attacked by this big crushing vehicle from the Vatican. As you can see, it is like mortal cities here, mortal engines, gigantic thing. And they say, the church is coming to get us. Now, I always think that Steve Orlando has something against the Catholic Church in general. I think he had a bad experience or something. I'm sure, a lot of people did. But it bleeds over a little bit to the Christian. But he does use some of the terminology as a smorgasbord to put his points of goodness forward. So it has that in it. I mean, without church in general, I don't think we'd have some of the values that we do today. And it's showing on some of the people that deny that. I'm going a little political here, and I apologize for that. So here we get, this is Jesus. He's a clone. Doesn't explain how he became the clone, but he's the clone. And Dracula, I guess, is the resurrected savior. So he comes and fights off these church members. You can see here, but as soon as their helmets are torn away, they become vampires somehow. Don't ask me why, they just do. You can see them kind of transforming. Now there's this little bit here. I have no idea what this is, but he picks it up, throws it or something. I'm not quite sure what he's doing with that. This whole thing is a lot like that. What is going on here? So you can see them starting to change to vampires, I guess, because of the sun. Shouldn't they blow up, catch fire? But that's one of the things the Blewett brothers had mentioned was there's Dracula and vampires have been shown in all different forms for centuries, different ways have been explaining them. And this is just their take on it. So do not be alarmed. Jesus has his sword, his special new nanotech sword called Magdalene, the Magdalene. I guess it's based on Mary Magdalene. He picks up a couple just regular guys that escaped the church. One of them says that he was buggered by some people in the church. He did that to stay off the streets. And they take them to, what was it called? The Rectory? I guess this is supposed to be part of the Vatican where they kept the bones. But maybe it was turned into a spaceship. It's really weird. It's really hard to follow this story. It's not very linear, and it just kind of bounces around. There's parts where they're showing Savior Jesus, but Dracula is talking, and it just doesn't make any sense. They don't really show Dracula for a few more pages, and it's like, what in the world would they do bringing this guy back to life? It makes no sense. I don't understand. So here we finally get to see Dracula, and yeah, he's a handsome gent. He's actually killing off the cardinals, drinking their blood. And they're saying, "Why are you doing this? We brought you to life." He's going, "Well, I'm the savior. That's why. Good reason." Meanwhile, it looks like Jesus is turning water into wine. There's a gent here named, I believe his name's Abraham, and he's up to no good, but we don't know why he's up to no good. But he's, I guess, an agent of Dracula. As you can see, the cardinals are in terror for their lives because Dracula has just taken them out. He's like, bop this guy here. You can see his eyeballs and stuff going everywhere. The art in it is okay. Now, if you want something more spiritual or religious, I would stick with Spawn. I think Spawn has, it's a stablemate of this book, whatever this book was called. I can't remember. Blood by My Blood. Loaded Bible. They're stable. The stories for Spawn are better. The art is better. You can see Abraham has this vial, but it's not real. I guess I figured out that it's not really blood, but just the wine, the water he turned into wine, I guess, and he's upset, which makes him turn into this demon thing that he jumps out and attacks clone Jesus. It's dumb. It's just a weird, stupid thing. And they fight. Meanwhile, they're trying to get a sample of Savior Jesus's, or clone Jesus's blood. And they finally do in the last picture here. You can see him biting clone Jesus on the neck, even though he's got all that armor. I don't know how he got past it. Next up is Revenge of the Impaler. And then we get a Mirka Andolph, I believe, page here. We'll go back and look at the things at the beginning. Next on Loaded Bible, I'll just come right in here so you can go ahead and read this. Jesus has been bitten by Dracula's sleeper vampire, but how long can he stave off the infection? As Dracula's evil plan evolves, the real meaning of the ancient Impaler's alliance with the church is revealed. Okay, all life on earth is under threat. Can Jesus' own people save their Savior in time to save the world? And we get this issue 2 cover here, which I'm assuming won't happen in the book. Okay, that comes out April 6th, so you have something to look forward to on April 6th. Here's some of the other covers for it. It's wow, Loaded Bible cover, cover B, to be revealed. Okay, so it's not really a cross, it's to be revealed. I don't think they're going to do what Marvel did and say comic books are sold on Wednesday. Yeah, nothing really. So it's not a recommend, obviously. And we already went through that. Let's see what the front cover was. It was Unnatural, Blue Blood. I believe this could be a trade. The evil is rising again. Maybe it's a new start of a new arc. I'm not sure. Unnatural, Blue Blood. So there you have it. I don't think there were any other ads in here. A not recommend. A heartbreaking one, because I didn't see Steve Orlando's name on there till way too late, like when I had it at home and started reading it. So, yeah, I would not recommend anything from Steve Orlando at this time. I'm 0 for 2, and they've been big misses on both of them. Very, very disturbing, non-linear stories to read that, boy, you just wonder what's going on, that man. And you wonder why they're getting more chances at the plate, actually. But that's the way things go now. Maybe he's got something on Tim Seeley. I don't know. Tim Seeley, I don't think would write anything like this, so it's really weird that his name's associated with it, unless he's just trying to bump up Mr. Orlando's work. Yeah, so not recommended. Thank you for stopping by and watching this video review of Loaded Bible, Blood of My Blood, the issue. As always, please like or dislike, like I disliked this story. Subscribe if you haven't, even if you disliked it, it'd be great. And leave comments if you wish. And we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones. Boy, I've got Draculina coming up, and that's issue 2. And I'm positive it's going to be so much better than this. So we have that to look forward to. Probably get to it tomorrow or Saturday. I'm not sure. So Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes bidding you adieu.